So I do not want to start using drug or medicine at my age. Actually, I'm the only one among all my high school friends that are not using any medicine at all. Most of them are like taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different pills. And I know when you start taking like the statin or anything like that, it's not good for you, especially for men. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I came back from Vietnam and I'm start picking up the bacteria with the, I'm noticing. But I have a lot of fat on me, although not focused in patching. I was not like 100% focused like in patching. And because now I realize when I almost died, that health is number one, right? So I'm focusing and I'm patching every day. Like today, I'm taking care of my cholesterol point, which is stomach 36. Yesterday, I was focusing on my spleen 6, which is diabetic. My father was diabetic. Why don't you just rest? But I already have an appointment that I'm opening an office in Hawaii. I have a nice office in Hawaii. So I already told Rick, I said, okay, I'll go with you. And I already told my leader, okay, I'll go with you. That definitely, you know, we're gonna have the grand opening office in Hawaii. The first day I'm in Hawaii, I was on the television, I was interviewed, I was on a radio show, I was doing good. My son, that was spring break 2012. My son said, Daddy, can I come? I said, okay, no problem. So I picked him up the next day at the airport and then we had lunch. And then he said like, Daddy, you look so weak, you look sick. I said, are you sure? Maybe Daddy was too tired because Daddy just came back from Asian trip. And then rest a couple of days at home, and then we flew again to Hawaii for this big event. So make a long story short, at night I vomited. And I was 52 years old at that time, and I had never vomited in my life. I never vomited in my life because, you know, I'm just a healthy man. I never vomit or anything like that.
Were you sick at your stomach, or did you have any indication just
At that time, I feel like weakness and no energy and a little bit maybe dizziness maybe, and just not
something was happening.
Something is happening in me. So lo and behold, that night I vomited in the room, and then I called my friend Rick, but his phone died. So I called my leader, Vina Morales, to pick me up and bring me to the airport to the hospital. And then when they checked on the hospital, oh my goodness, the doctor was shocked because looking at the blood check in the morning, a complete blood test, that I had septicemia.
Really serious.
Six of my organ doesn't work out of my 12. So my son came, and then my son called my wife. So my wife talked to the medical doctor there, and then the medical doctor was asking like, I'm looking at your husband complete blood analysis. He's supposed to die or coma or something like that. But when I talk to him, he looks normal. I don't get this. And I think my wife said, have you checked what he has under his shirt? Yeah, that is my next question. What are those white stickers all over his body?
How many did you have on?
And then, so the doctor was asking, you know, Juliana, and she was trying to explain what that's all about. The way she explained is like the way medical doctor explained it, right? Oh yeah, like if you see something behind his neck, and we don't have X39 at the time, that would be what we call iron. It'll reduce his C-reactive protein, which is the inflammation. You know how medical doctor explain things. So the doctor was like, what is this? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I still don't believe it. At that time, she was like, semi-believe it. And, but I noticed that it always works. Like, okay. So the doctor even like, you know, what kind of doctor are you, you know? So make a long story short, 1 week in the hospital, they have 4 other patients who had the same disease like mine, but with regular bacteria. You know, like E. coli or Salmonella, you know, all the regular things. Mine was Klebsiella, deadliest. The deadliest thing there is.
Where did you pick it up in Vietnam?
Yeah, maybe about the porridge that I ate, because, you know, from my office, I can see down there, people are lined up like 3 blocks long. So I told my secretary and my partners, like, what are they waiting for? oh, this is the best. I don't even know what they call it at that time. And I want to try it, right? I'm a curious guy, so I ordered some, and look what happened. So in 1 week in the hospital, one by one, those people that have septicemia died. One by one. And some of them got cut. Because doctor think, oh, the bacteria is here, okay, chop here. Oops, sorry, it's here, chop here. And I think I heard like a couple of them are chopped like 5, 6, 7 times. So I told my doctor, if I die from this disease or bacteria, let me die in one piece, not 7 pieces. And lo and behold, I'm start focusing on my patching. And my son was the one that helping me. And you know, I'm a believer of Christ, and everything was designed, you know, that my son come. My son usually don't want to come when I go on business trip, right? He only go on my vacation trip. And 7 days, and we are planning to have a surprise birthday party for my son, which is March 24th. So half dead in the hospital bed, my wife and I still arranging a surprise birthday party for my son. And I have to be healed a certain number, I forgot what was it. I think the inflammation number and the bacteria, because my left leg on my second day, I'm paralyzed on the second day, completely.
Your nerves shut down.
Shut down. On the 7th day, I hit that number, whatever number that I was supposed to hit. Doctor looked at it, now you can go home. I usually fly business class, but because my leg, my leg have to be straight like this, because this thing is already swollen. And we have to fly first class, so I have big room, right? I still even remember my son was taking picture and loaded.
To yourself.
Yes, and then he said, posted in Facebook, who said airline food is not good? Because we're in the first class.
Right.
They send you food every 15 minutes and all kind of drinks. And then we landed in LA, and then we still have a party. I landed on Thursday night. I rest Friday. Saturday we have a birthday party for my son. Monday I go back to hospital for 2 more weeks. I was paralyzed completely. And then 2012 is a crazy year because my son is 21 years old. My mom hitting 80 years old. My daughter hit 16 years old. So all big party, and I'm on a crutch. So on my son's birthday, I was on a wheelchair actually. Okay? And then I was still doing a presentation because Rick brought his leader that is local. He's pushing me in a wheelchair and doing presentation. I cannot believe it. And then on the 80th birthday, my mom, which is July, which is the same day like Rick, I was already in the crutches. I already feel better. And then my daughter Christina, Daddy, I don't think you can dance on my 16th birthday in December. And I said, you know what, Christina? Whatever it, you know, I will patch myself. I'm gonna go to the rehab. And the rehab is very painful. And I'm the guy that can hold pain. I already broke my rib, I'm still on the ring, and I beat that guy. And then I went to the hospital after that, and they fixed my rib. I can hold pain. But that pain that I had during my 9 month is crazy pain. And thank God for the patches.
So how did you learn your patching protocol to overcome that?
David is humble and great and very helpful. He helped me, he called me, and Dr. Stephen Heltiwonger. We talk about the nutrients, we talk about the patching protocol. Eagle Claw protocol was created because my leg was so swollen.
Which protocol?
Eagle Claw protocol, 5 Eon. And David said, Roy, put it on. And Dr. Thomas Bryan called me, asked me, because after the operation, my knee was swollen like a papaya.
Do you think if X39 would have been available, you would have still done the 5 Eon, or would you have done something different because of X39?
I would change a little bit, maybe the center. I put X39.
X39 at the
Yes,
center,
yeah.
And then 4 Eon.
Correct, yeah.
So